These are the best Patty and Selma moments in The Simpsons. Krusty's aunt fixes Homer's relationship with Patty and Selma after a fight in an escape room. Homer and her sisters opens with Marge, Homer, Patty, and Selma going to an escape room for Patty and Selma's birthday. They say that they've escaped from dozens of escape rooms and they've never used any hints. So, you can imagine how annoying this was.
Hint!
No! No hints!
That door is painted on, sir. You've used one hint.
Patty and Selma start yelling at Homer and calling him names.
Yeah? Well, you're hint? I don't know, something about her hair, maybe?
Does that count as a hint now? They start snarling and grunting at each other, so Marge steps in. She speaks to them as if they were animals, which they basically are. After the tensions dropped, they continued searching for clues, but time was running out and coming to an end, and they still haven't found the key. Patty asked for a hint, and the guy on the speaker said,
The bald man who ate you found the exit key 20 minutes ago and has been using it to scratch his butt.
Oh, I've never seen a more petty person. Except for Patty and Selma, of course. The time runs out and the voice says that they have failed the mission. Safe to say that was the worst birthday ever. The next day, Homer was getting ready for game night, and Lisa told him she thought he hated game night.
No, I hated extended family game night with your evil, terrible aunts.
Makes sense. Lisa begged Homer to make up with Patty and Selma because they need them to play one of the games. But Homer said it's best that they never see them again. Really, Homer? You wouldn't push through game night with Patty and Selma? Not even for Lisa. But then Patty and Selma showed up and they were frantically asking about Marge, saying she texted them that she fell off the roof while she was cleaning the gutters. Marge said that after all these years, she couldn't get them to stop fighting. So now she's found someone who can.
Homer, Patty, Selma. By the time I'm done with you, you'll be as close as a family can be.
This is gonna be fun. The woman is Krusty's aunt, who, more than anything else, likes spitting the truth in people's faces. She asked them how everything started and what seems to be the problem. Patty and Selma said that they didn't like each other from the start, but things got really ugly at Marge's fateful baby shower.
We wanted that day to be perfect for our sister until this idiot botched the one and only job.
The cake. Of course he messed up the cake. Patty and Selma began yelling at Homer for getting chocolate cake instead of carrot cake.
Luckily, I brought a backup carrot cake because I knew the impregnator here would screw it up.
Homer starts yelling names at them, too. Okay, they really didn't get along from the start. Marge came in and tried to save the day, but they just ignored her. She said that it was at that moment that she realized the only solution was to keep her husband and sisters separated. But why aren't you keeping them separated now? Would have been a lot better for everyone. The woman asked Marge who was right about the cake, and Marge didn't want to say at first, but then she couldn't keep it in.
It's neither. I like vanilla. Only vanilla. The less flavor, the better.
Of course it's vanilla. Then Homer, Patty, and Selma began fighting over who had it closer, carrot or chocolate, but the woman stopped them and said that they disgust her.
May you walk under a falling air conditioner. That said, the problem is you.
I would like to say I didn't expect that, but I really did. Marge was shocked that the woman thought that she was the problem.
You keep them separated. God forbid they should ever bury the hatchet.
I can't imagine that.
Because then Saint Marge doesn't get to run the show.
Poor Marge. Even if that was the truth, why'd she yell it at her? Marge didn't believe this, so she kicked the whole crew out and said that she's the nicest of all of them, and she loves everyone. Homer said that the lady is off her rocker, and that there's no world out there where he and her sisters aren't worst enemies. But when he turned off the light, he began to think. There's no way he's considering it. But he was, and that morning, Homer snuck out and went to meet Patty and Selma.
What are you doing here, Homer? This isn't you. You're not this person.
I know, it's weird for me too. The two of them showed up, and they were all kinds of uncomfortable.
If I could have stayed away, I would have.
Part of me wants to run. Part of me knows I'm through running.
Why are they talking like they're having an affair? Homer said they need to figure this out. They sat down for a beer, and Patty said that all these years they treated each other like garbage, but it was Marge's fault.
To the three amigos?
4. You're so fat, you count twice.
So now they call those blatant insults zings? But for some reason, they kept this newfound friendship from Marge. So one day, they accidentally ran into each other, which confirmed Marge's theory that she is the problem. I am finding that hard to believe. So Marge decided to stay out of Homer and her sister's relationship, but Lisa noticed she was sad. She told Marge that she should join them in having fun. Marge said that all her life she wanted Homer and her sisters to get along, and now her life is perfect.
So perfect that you're up here watching them while you refold laundry that's already been folded.
Marge keeps thinking that she doesn't do things right. Oh, she's gonna break. Lisa quickly called Bart and said that Marge has candy.
Candy, 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 candy!
I ruined everything.
Candy?
She knows them both so well. The mean therapist lady held a season finale reunion special of her show with all the families she helped. But then the truth came out, like it usually does. Homer said that he isn't bothered by the stuff that usually bothered him with Patty and Selma, but things got heated quickly.
You want to step in here?
You mean separate you? Oh, no. No, not me. I don't do that anymore.
The therapist began yelling at them, saying how she fixed all the other problems and they're the only ones who seem to be fighting still. Marge said that these three hated each other since the moment they met.
And all you did was give them a reason to not feel guilty about it.
She has a point.
I'm Marge Simpson, and the problem is not me.
At least her conscience is clear. If there's one thing you should know about Patty and Selma, it's that they like to be alone. Until they don't. Selma and Grandpa fall in love and end up getting married, a marriage both Homer and Patty want to break up. Romeo and Juliet starts with Homer being appointed a financial advisor who tells him that he needs to cut his expenses, and what does Homer decide to do? Well, the only sensible thing was for him to stop paying for his dad's old folks home and bring him to live with him and Marge. Abe didn't want to come with him, but Homer said,
Come on, Dad. I'm cutting back everywhere. To save gas, I'm Flintstoning the car.
Yeah, I don't think that works in real life. It didn't take long for Grandpa to drive Marge crazy, so she asked Homer if they could at least have a night out. And Homer agreed. Marge invited Selma over to watch Grandpa watch the kids. So, not only is he living on their expense, but he also can't even earn his stay by babysitting.
For some reason, she doesn't trust him. Maybe it's the bang-up job he did raising you.
Well, he can't argue with that. So, Grandpa and Selma stay alone watching the kids, and turns out they're very similar. Well, in some ways more than others. Selma tells Abe she knows he must be wondering how come a single woman with so much to offer is alone on a Saturday night. Abe calls her a sweet young thing, and I don't like where this is going. Selma poured them some wine, and they got to talking. So Abe prepared for some action.
I was voted best kisser in my POW camp.
Well, if he dies in my arms, I could meet a cute paramedic.
Oh, she's got a sick mind. But then Homer and Marge got home early from their dinner.
A bear is eating my father!
I'm Selma.
So, a talking bear? Homer began grilling his dad about kissing Selma.
You know what you were kissing? Do you? Do you?
Honestly, that's a fair question considering Abe's age. Abe tells Homer he doesn't care about what he thinks, and he's gonna ask Selma out on a date. The two of them go out, and Selma thinks Abe is doing this just to annoy Homer, but he says he actually likes her. Selma tries to tell him that the other night was fun, but she doesn't think it should happen again.
At my age and with your drawbacks, we can't afford to miss an opportunity.
Selma says that they should spend some time together and see where that takes them. Ah, what the hell. It's not like she's meeting anyone these days. So Grandpa and Selma began dating, and Marge thinks it's good they found each other, while Homer doesn't think so. Marge told him to be nice, and she asked him if he sees how great it is they're together.
Like how the parts of a pig nobody wants combine to make a yummy hot dog.
Homer is annoyed that Marge is dragging hot dogs into this. I don't think she was meaning to insult hot dogs. Later, Homer went to Moe's and he was complaining to Moe about his dad and Selma. Homer calls them gargoyles and says that love is only for good-looking young people. After he finished at Moe's, Homer went to go home, but Patty surprised him along the way.
Over here. It's me, Patty.
Who are you in love with, Bart?
Homer, that's just sick and twisted, man. Patty told him that if he wants to break up his dad and Selma, she's got a plan, but it involves him. Homer agreed, but he said he's not good with details, nor the bigger picture. They decided to meet up at the mall later.
Hello, Homer.
Selma!
Relax, it's just me, Patty.
Wow, the only thing setting them apart is their hair and their jewelry. Patty asked Homer if he had his disguise. There's no way he's fooling anyone with that. Patty told Homer to prepare his mental images so they can kiss each other without barfing.
Yes, no baby.
Okay, we don't need a play-by-play. So, Homer and Patty start smooching when Grandpa passes by.
I thought we really had something.
What the hell is going on here?
Dos Selmas? Ay, ay, ay!
He's really taking this too far. Homer said he always dreamed that his father would grow old alone, but Abe said that his and Selma's love is so strong, even 1,000 schemes couldn't tear them apart.
She's in my life forever.
I'm Patty.
Nice to meet you. Selma, will you marry me?
That was a bit awkward, but Abe pulled through. Selma accepted Abe's proposal. Selma and Abe get married, and at the same time, Selma gets promoted at the DMV. But I guess Selma didn't count on the fact that she married an old demented senile man. So, when Abe wanted to make himself some tea, he put the blender on the stove and pancakes in the CD player.
I usually don't cook, but when you're in love, you do crazy things. Now I'll just put in a movie.
No, not the microwave. Then everything started smoking up, and Grandpa tried calling the firemen.
Uh-oh, better call the fire brigade. Oh, they're already here.
Meanwhile, poor Selma is fighting for her life at a corporate meeting when
I'm wet and scared and the house hates me.
Selma decided to step down from her promotion right then and there, and she went home with Abe. When they got home, they realized that the marriage is hard on both of them, and Selma says that maybe they should admit that they aren't working. Okay, Abe, I guess the only kind of love you know is tough love. Abe tells her that she will surely find some nice young man, and she won't be alone.
Now, how about giving an old man one last dance?
Too bad they didn't at least stay friends after this. And in case you forgot who that cute baby was, here's a little reminder. Selma decides to adopt a child, so the whole family goes to China. Goo Goo Gai Pan opens with Selma on a date with Mr. Burns, and she suddenly starts getting really warm.
What's wrong with me?
Selma, I don't think you want to hear what's wrong with you. Mr. Burns loses control over the car, and Selma falls out into the snow.
I still feel hot.
She goes to the doctor, and he tells her that she was experiencing a hot flash, an early symptom of menopause. Dr. Hibbert played a video on menopause for everyone, and the guy in it said that symptoms may include mood swings, loss of desire, and dryness. He also added that you can still do everything that you did before.
Including having children?
Ma'am, we're trying to make a video here.
Well, that's depressing. Selma realizes she can't have children now, and that depressed her even more.
I never realized you wanted a child so badly. I didn't want to get pregnant and lose my looks.
What looks? I'm not one to body shame, but she already looks pregnant. That night, Patty suggested to Selma that she should check some adoption agencies before she completely loses all hopes of having children. Selma tried at the local adoption agency, but with no luck, when Lisa told her,
China has thousands of baby girls who need adoption.
Great. Another job lost to a foreigner.
well, it's not really a job, and those babies should be adopted nonetheless. Selma goes to a Chinese adoption agency, and a man there told her that her application is in perfect order, except for one thing. He told her that she forgot to fill out the name of her husband. The guy told her that her husband must go to China with her to pick up the baby.
Writing the name.
Well, at this point, Homer really is her best bet. So the next day, the whole family was on a plane to China, but Homer was oblivious as to why.
When are we going to tell Homer he has to pretend to be my husband?
Marge tells her to wait until the sleeping pills kick in. Smart move, Marge. Homer got pretty droopy from the pills, so Selma sat next to him to tell him the real reason why she's flying them out.
You have to pretend to be my husband.
Well, don't be so dramatic. It's only for a few days. Marge told Homer that this small thing Selma is asking him to do could transform her life. Homer said he doesn't want Selma to be happy, and Marge told him that if he won't do it for Selma, he should do it for her. There really isn't a selfless bone in his body, is there? When they got to the adoption agency in China, the woman told them that they will be getting their baby in a few days, which will give them a chance to explore, and
it will give me a chance to closely observe the intimate details of your married life.
that's very impostery of her. But now that meant that they had to pretend like Bart and Lisa were their kids, and that Marge is...
Thank you, Mr. Simpson.
Don't mention it, Miss October.
Really? Miss October? Madame Wu asked Homer what he does for a living, and he went to answer her when he realized that she doesn't know him, and he could be anything he wants.
I'm a Chinese acrobat.
Couldn't have just said an acrobat? You had to be a Chinese acrobat. Madame Wu told Selma and Homer that they'll be getting their baby tomorrow, and that they shall be back in their country very soon.
My life begins at last.
An insult to your other children.
We understand, ma'am. We're pretty lousy kids.
Hey, they may be pretending about being Selma's children, but they're speaking facts. Madame Wu told Lisa that she will have a Chinese sister soon, who will surpass her academically. Wow, okay, she took that pretty far. The family went to watch the real Chinese acrobats perform, but unfortunately, the final act was postponed because their star acrobat had died.
This is most disillusioning.
It seems our leaders are not all-knowing.
Now I will question everything.
That doesn't sound good. To prevent the riot, Madame Wu made Homer perform because, after all, he is a Chinese acrobat. By God's grace, or whatever you believe in, Homer doesn't die while doing the stunt, but he ends up in the hospital.
Ling Bouvier.
She's beautiful.
Now that's a happy picture right there. Selma introduced Ling to Homer, her daddy.
Without him, I wouldn't have you.
Selma thanked Homer for what he did, and she asked him if he'd like a little alone time with Miss October. Selma and the kids left the room, and Marge told Homer that out of all the sneaky and dishonest things he's ever done, playing Selma's husband was the sweetest. Homer said it was really hard for him because he missed her so much, so you know what comes next, snuggling. But I don't think they would have snuggled if they knew someone was watching them.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on Wu!
Madame Wu, you're a real creep. As the family was getting ready to leave the next day, Madame Wu showed up to take Ling away. She says that Homer is not her husband. The family was sitting at the airport and comforting Selma when Lisa said she knows how to get Ling back, but they must be discreet.
You look just like a Buddha statue. Now all you need is an expression of utter serenity.
Marge tells Homer to think of the time he found a junior mint in his belly button. Oh, Marge knows him so well. The guards came outside and saw that someone left them a big Buddha statue, so they went to take it inside. They pulled Homer inside and he went to search for Ling.
Now let's see. Which one is Ling? Ling! 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 Ling!
Now you can't say that was racist because all the babies do look the same. But just one liked playing with Homer's eyes, so Homer took her back to Selma. They tried to escape back to the airport, but Madame Wu found them. She told Selma she cannot allow Ling to be raised by an unmarried woman. She tells her that she too works for a cruel and faceless empire.
The Department of Motor Vehicles. May I talk to you, bureaucrat to bureaucrat?
Yes, but you first must sign this form.
Selma told Madame Wu they both love enforcing stupid, pointless rules, but there's a greater joy in bending those rules to help someone who thinks all hope is gone. Madame Wu said that her dad died of choking just one day before the Heimlich maneuver was invented, and her mom raised her alone, so she knows it can be done.
You may keep your baby. But you, drop the panda!
But he loves me. Ow!
Homer, I don't think it does. So the family got on a boat and Selma told Ling,
You'll be back someday, Ling. As a spoiled American teenager.
that's kind of sad, actually. So let's not think about it too much, and we've been following Selma for a while now, so let's see what Patty's been up to. Homer uses the internet to become a minister, and he starts marrying gay people. There's Something About Marrying opens with Bart and Milhouse pulling a prank on a news reporter from out of town without knowing who he was. Later that day, when the family was watching TV, Bart recognized him. The news reporter says that he has rambled across his country.
Never found a town I didn't like.
Till now.
And the name of that town is Springfield.
Oh, this is not going to be good. The man couldn't have left a worse review of Springfield, so Lisa said that she hopes this won't affect tourism, and as usual, she was right, and the mayor held a meeting asking for any and all crazy ideas to bring tourism back to Springfield. Lisa suggested legalizing same-sex marriage.
We can attract a growing segment of the marriage market and strike a blow for civil rights.
That's actually not a bad idea. The mayor even made an ad promoting same-sex marriage in Springfield, but there was just one problem. While the mayor may have legalized it, Reverend Lovejoy wasn't gonna marry anyone of the same sex.
I cannot marry two people of the same sex any more than I can put a hamburger on a hot dog bun.
How does that even make sense? Marge opposed to this, and she told the Reverend that as long as two people love each other, she doesn't think God cares. A tough debate, really. Especially when you're having it with the Reverend.
Bible forbids same-sex.
Which book?
Which book? The Bible!
Oh, he knows very well she wasn't asking that. But when Marge wanted to get into a further debate,
Scriptural scholars disagree on the significance of the Old Testament prescription.
Yeah, maybe she was making a good point, but no one really heard it. The mayor came out and he couldn't believe that Lovejoy was missing out on the opportunity to make $200 a couple.
Hey, I gotta get in on this. These people have rights. The right to buy me a 62-inch TV.
Of course, that information got into the wrong ears. Homer went home and began the long and spiritual process of becoming an ordained minister. Well, that wasn't long nor spiritual. Now that he became a minister, the only logical step was to make his garage into a chapel and hold weddings. At that place, Homer married every gay couple in town. He said that all that's left to do now is wait for some other guys to turn.
Where's Lenny and Carl?
Don't you push them. They've got to work that out for themselves.
Oh, so we're really considering the idea that those two might be gay. Okay, I'm on board. Homer said that he needs $200 to buy the TV he wants, so Marge suggests marrying people of the opposite sex.
Yuck!
I mean, a man and a woman.
Well, maybe marriage isn't just for gays.
Homer, remind me again of your sexuality and marriage status. So Homer extended his business to straight couples as well. Marge was really proud of Homer for standing up for people's right to express love.
In its most perfect form, a binding legal contract.
Yeah, because who needs respect when you have a legal contract binding you forever? Then Patty rang the doorbell and she said she needs to ask Homer a favor. She told him she wants to do the ceremony because she's getting married.
Her name's Veronica. But Veronica's a girl's name. Did you know that?
I'm betting she did, Marge. Patty told Marge she's gay, and she's marrying a woman. Marge was slowly coming to terms with what Patty just told her, and she said,
I guess that fear I always had of you stealing Homer away is unfounded.
Honestly, Marge, you need to get your worries in order. Patty was surprised that Marge thought she was straight, and Marge said she should have seen the signs. Yeah, the signs were pretty obvious, Marge. Patty asked Marge if this was a problem for her, and Marge said that it isn't, of course.
I love you, I love gay marriage. So I'd be a super hypocrite if I didn't love your gay marriage, right?
Yeah, exactly. That night, Marge was getting the kids ready because Patty and her fiancé were coming over for dinner. Marge told them that Patty was marrying a very lucky woman. The kids are surprised because they thought Patty was waiting for the right man.
As opposed to you, who grabbed the first blimp that floated by.
No. The first blimp who got her pregnant. When Patty and Veronica came, Marge asked how they met, and Veronica said that they met at a woman's golf tournament, since she is a professional golfer. Patty and Veronica start kissing, and Marge tells Patty to save something for the wedding night.
Well, we're saving everything for our wedding night.
That's what Mom would want.
Marge says that isn't exactly what her mom would have wanted. Yeah, I don't think Jacqueline really had this in mind. Patty asked Marge if she's sure she's okay with this, and Marge reluctantly said she is.
I get it. You act all liberal, but you can't handle it when your sister finds love in her own locker room.
Hey, Patty's right, and I wouldn't want to be on her bad side. Patty tells Marge that if she can find it in her heart to accept her for who she is, she'd love to see her at the ceremony. On the day of the wedding, Selma came to Patty and asked her if she wants to do a jigsaw puzzle that night, and Patty looked at her confused and told her that she's getting married in an hour. So, there are other things she'd like to be doing. Selma says that she has trouble getting used to being alone.
Don't lay that on me. You got married 3 times. Actually, 4.
When did she have the time to get married again? Patty comforted Selma by telling her they'll always be there for each other, but she's not sure about Marge.
If she doesn't show up today, I have no non-identical sister.
Marge better pull through. Meanwhile, in the other room, Homer was praying to God to say all the right words today as he consecrated another gay union. Homer also prayed that the Holy Spirit would open the heart of his wife. Marge went to go to the bathroom when she accidentally saw Veronica in there.
Dude looks like a lady.
She's a man.
But how did no one notice? How did Patty not notice? I mean, you can't really hide some parts all the time.
Looks like Patty's gonna get something she didn't register for.
Oh, Marge, don't be so mean and petty. The wedding starts and Marge shows up, but she wasn't intending on telling Patty that her soon-to-be wife is actually her soon-to-be husband. But then Marge changed her mind, and she decided to stand up and stop the wedding.
No, I can't let this happen. I knew it. You think everyone in the world should have a big, dumb man.
Patty, you're gonna wind up with a big, dumb man if you don't stop talking. Marge told Patty it's not what she thinks.
Veronica is a man.
Look at the size of that Adam's apple.
Now, there's no way he's been wearing scarves and turtlenecks their entire relationship. Veronica, or whatever his name is, tells Patty that he loves her, and he tells her he's been pretending to be a woman long before they met so he could get further in golfing. Yes, I'm not making this up. He asks Patty if she'll marry him, and for a split moment, she thought about it.
Hell no! I like girls!
Go Patty. Patty thanked Marge for accepting her for who she is, and Marge said,
Well, I've learned a lesson. Just because you're a lesbian, it doesn't make you less of a being.
Well, that was sort of a given, but okay. But Patty and Selma really wouldn't be the duo that they are if it weren't for that one thing that keeps them close, and that's smoking. Patty and Selma come to stay with the Simpsons while their apartment is being fixed, but Homer makes them give up smoking inside if they want to earn their stay. Opposites a Frack opens with Marge serving dinner for the family, and she made Homer's favorite, pork chops with gravy.
Today's not Pork Chop Tuesday or Gravy Thursday.
Something's fishy. Marge said she also set up some mirrors so Homer could watch hockey while he eats. Homer was really grateful, and Marge said,
I'm just happy you're happy.
That's not something people really feel. What's going on?
The lack of trust just speaks to the years they've been married. Marge said she actually does have a favor to ask of Homer. She tells him that Selma and Patty came home early from their vacation, but the cleaners still haven't gotten all the black mold out of their apartment. That looks very scary. Marge said Patty and Selma need a place to stay.
Here.
They're gonna kill each other before you know it. Homer started protesting, telling Marge she can't invite her sisters to stay over, but Marge already had a plan.
You ate the food and looked in the mirrors. They're staying.
Of course, those pork chops weren't prepared just out of love. Patty and Selma chuckle and light cigarettes, which made Bart and Lisa start coughing. Then Homer came up with a plan of his own and said that there's a teensy problem with her plan. Homer said that he is concerned about Patty and Selma smoking around the kids. If I didn't know he had a plan, I'd think he was having a stroke. Marge realized that Homer was right and that their smoking really is a problem.
No, we don't have to smoke. We can stop whenever we want. See?
All I see is you with another cigarette in your mouth. Patty and Selma tell Homer that if he catches them smoking in the house, even one time, he can throw them out on the street. Marge said that she trusts they won't smoke, and Homer said,
If you trust them, I trust them too. Safety first!
Oh, he's not leaving anything to chance. Patty and Selma say they'll just go outside to smoke and that it's no problem. But the forecast calls for nothing but rain. I guess nature will have to wait. But you know how smokers are. They find every possible way to smoke.
Electric cigarettes. Choke on our harmless fumes.
The only problem with electric cigarettes is they don't stain fingers, their hair smells like hair, and, well, there's no cigarette appeal. That's kind of the whole point of them.
Where's a stab from every breath?
Every smoker's worst nightmare, am I right? But then they see that there's no smoke detector in the downstairs bathroom, so they go in there for a real cigarette. They make sure that the vent is on and that no smoke will get out the door.
Turn on the faucet so no one will get suspicious.
Smart move. Well, it would have been if it weren't for... Yeah, I don't understand the physics behind that.
Gotcha! You can't resist smoking in the house any more than I can resist drinking in the car.
But at least their vice endangers only them, when they're alone. Marge asked what happened, and they said that the water caught on fire.
I'm glad I never bothered to learn which one of you is which.
Do you think this is how God was acting when he was banishing Adam and Eve from heaven? Nah, me either. Patty and Selma begged Homer to show some compassion for two good people who just can't stop smoking. Homer says he knows just the place for them. Is he actually gonna do them a solid?
Tobacco. Who needs Paris? This is our city of lights.
Well, at least everyone was happy. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below your favorite Patty and Selma moment from The Simpsons.